Well, the new edition of Baseball Prospectus is out and available for baseball fans everywhere this week. And with us now, one of their main people, columnist Jay Jaffe. And Jay, first of all, welcome. And this is a must-read for every baseball fan. We know that. Derek Jeter, coming off his worst year. He's going to be 37, June 25th to be exact. What are you guys expecting out of him this year?
We think he's going to bounce back a bit in terms of batting average and on-base percentage, but we don't see him regaining the power that he showed, earlier in his career. It's a hazard of getting old.
A lot of people talk about his range, and it looked like he improved the range in 2009 when he worked on it all winter long. That range wasn't there last year, whether or not he was hurt. Can that range come back?
I think that's a tough thing, given his age, that we see him, in decline. It'll take a lot of extra work for him to overcome that.
Jose Reyes, he's another guy that, to me, I find so interesting. It's a contract year for him, so he's going to be motivated. Sandy Alderson, that's going to be the question mark. He's a big on-base percentage guy, doesn't value the stolen bases much. What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, I think the problem is that Reyes isn't a guy who gets on base a lot. We've got him coming in at 334 on base percentage, which is about his career level. And he's a good base runner, but it doesn't really fit in with the Mets' new philosophy, I don't think. So his value is going to be a little bit limited, and he's facing an uphill battle to show that he's worth keeping.
Madoff situation aside, and that case that's going on, do you think the Mets re-sign him with Sandy Alderson and the regime that's there right now?
Like I said, I don't think he's an ideal fit, but the market for shortstops is going to be kind of slim. I mean, you're looking at like a J.J. Hardy coming in as an alternative. So, they may keep him just because he's the devil they know as opposed to the devil they don't.
Good point. Alex Rodriguez, here's a guy that's also in his mid-30s. He's coming off a year in which he struggled last year. The hip, obviously, an issue. He's not moving as well at third base. What can we expect? Can we expect a bounce-back year out of him this year?
Yeah, I think he's going to bounce back. We've got him as one of the 10 most valuable players in baseball in terms of the hitters. We think he's going to rebound to about mid-30s in home runs with a much higher on-base percentage, about 370, as opposed to last year he had a 340 on-base percentage with only 30 home runs. So, his defense isn't going to get better, but we think he's going to be a bit more powerful.
All right, here's one guy I have no idea what to expect anything from. Jason Bay. Now, Mets fans haven't brought up his name a lot lately. He was intimidated by the big ballpark, it seemed, last year, and then he got the concussion. So what do you expect out of Jason Bay this year?
Well, we think he's going to regain at least some of his power. Citi Field is a tough place to hit the balls out. But we think he can get back to 20 home runs if he's healthy. But I don't see him reaching 36 home runs like he had a couple years ago.
All right, here's what all Yankee fans want to know: A.J. Burnett, the mystery, the idiot, a guy that you just can't figure out. What do you expect out of him this year?
Well, I think he's going to be better. We've got him for an ERA in the mid-4s, which with the Yankee offense, should be enough for him to hang in there. He's still got good stuff. I think, a lot of his problems last year may have been mental as opposed to, just age-related decline. So we could see an additional bounce back beyond what we're projecting. I
know you guys call it the Dave Duncan factor with pitchers that go to work with Dave Duncan and how he turns around careers. Do you think that Larry Rothschild, who's an experienced pitching coach, can have that much of a difference with Burnett?
I think he could help. I mean, clearly, whatever was happening with Burnett on Dave Island last year wasn't working. So, a change, change for change's sake might be the best thing for him in this case.
All right, Mets starters. They're auditioning what? 10 guys down there. They signed Chris Young, Chris Capuano, Mike Pelfrey. They say is going to be the opening day starter. I mean, what do you expect out of this rotation? I mean, I have no idea what to expect.
I don't expect a ton. I mean, the big question is going to be whether Johan Santana, how many innings he pitches. And nobody really knows that right now with the injury. Our projections, I think, are a little pessimistic about R.A. Dickey. They don't really understand, the computer doesn't necessarily understand that he really got the hang of that knuckleball last year and was totally, a different pitcher compared to the years before. So that could be, a highlight still. But, yeah, there's a lot of scraps there in that rotation.
All right, Jay Jaffe, Baseball Prospectus on sale this week.
Yes.
And you can get it at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. All right. Jay, thanks very much. All right, coming up after